Welcome, listeners, to the Dream Stream podcast. I am Yiskah Cook,
And I'm Ellen Ronis.
and we're going to do dream work
Yay.
together. So, you were saying from the last dream that we did unfold and work on of yours that you had another dream. You think somehow they're connected?
They can, probably. Let me just get this. It's hard to say because I don't, there we go. Oh, that didn't do any good whatsoever. Okay. Anyway, I just don't know. I just know I had it close to the other dreams. And so it probably has something to do.
Sorry. Sometimes, right? Sometimes it's hard to see the connections, but when you're unpacking it and exploring it, sometimes it become clear or not. If it's not.
Yes, exactly. And a little piece of that dream entered into some writing that I did.
Oh, good. Last night.
Yeah, last night.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it wasn't the best piece of writing I ever done because it was a little bit, anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's not always going to be.
It's not going to be so great. It's just was what it was. But I realized that lately I've been writing from the dreams. My writing, I'm starting to write from that dream space. So it's actually like processing the dream, but it's how the dream is bringing me into curiosity and
that's a good idea.
Philosophy and what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm processing through, what I'm where I am in my life. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
jumping off point, like it's a good prompt.
Yes.
And what does it mean to me? And then you're also exploring yourself and
right. Well, I think I shared yesterday or so with you a couple days ago that one of the writing prompts in my writing group, she gives like 20 prompts. Like there's a list of them and you can pick none or you can pick 10. It's just totally up to you. Often I don't pick any and I just write wherever. But I chose the prompt that said, "The dream lingered in my mind for weeks."
yes.
So that was just a perfect way to go right into a dream that I had just had. And I did a pretty cool piece of writing around that. So, that made it easy, but it also made me realize, wow, that's a cool thing to do, to write from the dream world, especially when you kind of get the sense that it is really juicy, like it really is helping you to see things in your waking life.
Yes.
They usually are on some level.
I think this is what I need because we have been working on a book, right, with Dr. Carla Mazzio, and I just need to loosen up my writing. Everything I'm writing is like, okay, everything gets better with edits. I mean, I learned that from my mom. I was doing a paper and I was probably middle school and she read it and it was kind of, I was written in like I'm only going to use this example from Rudolf Steiner because of his particular way of stating something. I was nothing like Steiner. But he says, well, anyone who knows anything about blah, blah, blah agrees. It's like very German, 1900s. So, it was written somehow. My mom read it and she said, it's very good, but I think if you rewrite it, it will be, you'll like it better. I rewrote it and it had a whole different tone. It was wonderful. So I need something to get me writing every day. And I may have said I'm committed last dream group, but this time I mean it. I'm going to write about my dreams.
Yeah. Maybe starting with a question.
Okay.
And then allowing yourself to answer the question, like yourself, God, whatever's coming through you, ask the question and then let the answer come through, which coming from you, but also coming from,
what I would think of as one's higher self. But my teacher, Eckhart Tolle, doesn't say that, because then you think it's outside of yourself. So he says, my deepest self.
I love that. God, I love that guy,
I
right?
love him so, I still listen to him.
He just says that he does it all right. He just does it like exactly how we can hear it.
It's the kind of thing that listening over and over again is only helping me, is only making me more interested.
Yes.
I think this time I can grok it a little better.
Amazing.
So I wanted to talk about, so Ellen, you don't even have to go back into these dreams, but I noticed the last time we spoke that two of your dreams, if they were my dreams, had foretold a couple things that were going to happen in my life.
Yes.
In my like ahead now, you don't
Yeah.
want to step out of the now, but my just ahead now.
Mhm.
And I thought that was just extraordinary, because your dreams were giving, if they were my dreams, I would feel like they were giving me a little bit of warning that some emotional stuff might come up, or I might have opinion, I don't know exactly, but I feel like you were well served by your dreams. And
Yeah. And thank you for pointing that out, because we had shared this, off air. Yiskah and I shared some emotional moments for me, and you helped me realize that what was happening was something that the dream sort of foretold, which I never would have put it together. I just never would have. So I really appreciate that as your kind of superpower, that you remember the dream so well, and that you
so
can.
obvious to me.
Yeah, well, isn't that the way it is, right? Like your gifts to me are like, wow, and you're just like,
I thank you so much for saying
yeah.
that. I'm on empower anyone to like be the listening board for your, close ones' dreams.
Yeah.
You can see things that the dreamer might not see, because the dream is so upfront and real.
Yeah, I think you're so in it in a way. You're just in it, and we tend to get in our heads about things, about the analysis rather than, that sort of felt sense of things.
Yeah, you and Eckerd both, baby, stay out of your ego mind.
Yeah, and that came up last night in my writing, where
Okay.
I had this kind of idea of what I wanted to write about, because I wanted to continue the process of writing from dreams.
Yes.
Something happened at the beginning of the group where the mentor, teacher, whatever, mentioned that, oh, this one woman who I love so much is not going to be in the group anymore. And I love, like, we've been in groups together, this woman, and that she's going to be in another day. And the other people in the group are people I don't really know. And that's fine. They're lovely, and we've already shared some writing, and it's fine. But I was like, sort of a little in shock. It's like, oh, my person. She was like my person that I always could count on to give me really great feedback. So instead of writing from that place where I was a little in shock, I was a little angry, I was a little upset, and then that would have been an interesting exploration where that went. I kind of tried to keep going back to the dream. And so I guess the lesson there is to just always be so in the moment with what you're expressing, particularly as an artist of some sort. It's like, let it be right there. Let it be right. Whatever is, it doesn't matter if it seems like a silly little thing that you should get over or you will get over. Just, I don't know, just to, it's just being so present with our vulnerability, so present with ourselves. And that's where our greatest gifts lie, when we can be in that deepest place, I think. Absolutely. Anyway, a lot of dream work, but
yes,
just
meditation can take someone, or art. I'm saying, if you're really in a painting, I'm not a visual artist, I'm a wordsmith, but I imagine that art can take one there.
What any expression, it could be a dance, it could be a poem, it can be an essay, whatever it is. I think unless you have a very specific idea and you're writing on that idea, if you're just doing something creative, like in the moment of creation, I think should not that it should be, but I think it's the most honest when it comes from the very moment of whatever it is that's happening in you at this moment.
So maybe you can help me with this quandary. I'm trying to manifest, and I think most people who listen to our podcast know I have MS, and first of all, trying to manifest wellness, and like ease walking or climbing, hiking. I want hiking back in my life. So and I've watched I don't know, so many people have something to say about manifestation. John, someone, I can't think of his name in this moment, but I'll think of it before this is over. But so I'm wondering from you, fellow traveler, how would you describe manifesting something for one's life?
I guess I would say it's like opening your mind, opening your vision, like you imagine the thing that you want kind of there in your mind, like feeling it. I think for me, it's always about the body. It's always about feeling things in the body. So it's like, can you feel that in your body? Can you, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, feel how it would feel to have that thing. And then just energetically, connect with what is around us, the energy around us, which I think is God, the matrix, whatever, it's everywhere. It's not a being.
So this is all wonderful. And I think that because I've been working on manifestation, and I think that I see myself in a stronger, straighter walk, and I'm welcoming in the five senses, because I also believe it's like a sensual, and I probably heard that also from some of these wonderful teachers. And Joe Podesta, what's Joe Dispenza?
Joe Dispenza.
Dispenza? Okay. So but I love what you're saying, like feel the presence. It's almost like I'm feeling it by senses, the five senses that everyone agrees on the body has, but I haven't been necessarily feeling it in my heart or my chakras. So yeah, can you say more about that? So like, how do you tune in to the different energy spirals?
I don't know, because I don't really work with that much. Like,
Okay.
I people say, oh, you manifest well. I'm not doing it purposefully. I'm just not, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't really know. I think
Conscious mind.
yeah, I don't think there's anything specific. I think it's just kind of a felt sense,
Okay.
feeling it in my body, and then like connecting with energy that can, just energy that is around you that can actually help you move forward.
This feels so opening for me, because working with the five senses seems so limited. Not limiting, but limited. My eyes can see only this.
Yeah, that's why I say the felt sense, right?
Yeah, I love that. I feel like what you're offering is like expanding the space that I'm trying to manifest within. So thank you so much, Ellen.
Sure, that's a great question. Great question.
So, do you have a dream?
Yeah, this was a really interesting dream a couple of 3 days ago, 4 days. Um, I'm just looking to see if there's a date. Whatever, 3-4 days ago. And I do remember that it took me a really long time to like get out of the dream when I woke up.
Oh.
Like, I'll say that after, right? So you'll ask me how I felt. So
Anytime. I much more appreciate your way of like, no rules.
winging it. That is my way. Cool. Okay, well, I'll just say then, because I wrote it down. It took me hours to snap out of the dream. So I am on an airplane that is lined with benches on either side. There's no rows of chairs like on a regular plane. It's a big giant jetliner, and there's just a bench, a really long bench running up and down each side of the plane, and I'm sort of sleeping, like laying down. There's nobody else on the plane. Smooth, quiet engine, kind of gently soaring through the air over the ocean, blue sky. And I kind of wake up like almost like I had been drugged or something. I was kind of happy to be like halfway across the ocean, but I don't know where I was going. I felt unnerved, is what I wrote.
Nerve.
What I left felt dark and chaotic and confused. People I knew, family and friends, helping me to make a decision about how I was to get there, wherever there was. And it feels like I'm drugged, like they had to anesthetize me in order for me to get out of the war zone in my mind. That's what I wrote. Wow.
Wow.
Did they help me or were they helping themselves? I don't know what that means.
That
But
was the last thing you asked of your dream? Ooh.
What? What?
Wow. Wow. Well, seeing as there's no order, I'm going to jump into a projection
Okay.
if I may. It's like in so many movies, and I can't think of one, but where there's the plane with the benches, like skydiver movies, or
Yeah.
like, it's like army.
Right. Or like the really expensive plane, with those, I don't know,
Like a private plane.
like a private plane. But
Okay.
it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like, there were like tables and chairs the way a private plane has like its
And
own
even
little.
white leather
No,
couches.
it was just benches, like
Yeah.
one bench, nothing else. It was like nothing. There was not a picture, nothing else. It was just
Oh, wow.
air inside and that, not open air. Obviously, we're in a plane, but yeah, there was nothing else there.
It feels so much like a military plane to me. And
Hmm.
what was the last line? I'm getting out of this war zone
Yeah, like it felt um
in
uh,
my mind.
smooth sailing, but I felt unnerved. It was smooth sailing, but I felt unnerved. What I left was dark, chaotic, and confused. People I know, family and friends, were helping me to make the decision about how I was to get there, wherever there was. Um, yeah, I hadn't remembered that part actually until I just looked at it. That there was this something dark and chaotic. I mean, in a way, it feels like when I'm thinking of it now, it feels like whatever it took to get me on this plane that was just, it was so spacious and quiet, and there's nobody else there. There's nobody else to ask, like what to do or what should I do, or reflect back, give me the mirror. It was just me on this plane and the decision had been made. Here I am going.
Am I aware that there's pilots, or is it just like a?
It doesn't, I mean, I don't see a pilot, but I think there's a pilot, but it's just that the pilot and me, and it's a very big plane. It's not like yeah, just a very big plane.
What's so interesting to me is that in a previous dream of yours, the dreamer is at the airport looking out on the tarmac at all these people, but now the dreamer is in the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Similar type of surrealism.
Right. And interestingly, I think that dream also did involve family and friends. I feel like I used that same.
But in the dream work,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I used that same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there was some more specific people in that.
Okay.
It was the opposite. They were the ones leaving to
Okay.
go somewhere. I was like stuck in the airport. And
Yeah.
then there was a big explosion that happened, and and then they all came running back.
too late because I was already gone. No,
And now I'm the one leaving and they're the ones helping me to leave.
that's right, because they're okay.
But
So
like if if we look at this in the sort of Jungian way, or I'm not sure how, that I'm everybody in the dream,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
It's like it it does feel like such a personal process, it's like all of those people are, you know, like I'm leaving, some myself in a way because I'm whatever for whatever reason there's this separation, and then they're coming back into me, and now I don't know, I'm not even sure what I'm saying about that, but somehow if I look at it like they're all parts of myself, that's kind of interesting. But the feeling.
I'm thinking spiritual journey because it's a flight. So to me, that's meaning that right now.
What is it meaning?
Spiritual journey
Oh,
up
I
high.
mean, maybe because I
You're,
mean, even the ocean, when I looked at the ocean below me, it was like glass.
yeah.
It
Oh,
was like everything was so smooth. The
oh,
ocean was smooth. The
yeah.
air was, there was not a cloud in the sky. The plane was like so smooth and
This
even.
blue sky.
Yeah. I mean, it was, so in a way that was sort of lovely, but but I felt this weird, like not
That's a
mental clarity, like I had been drugged,
yeah.
and I was waking up to this thing that should have made me go, wow, this is cool, but
Yeah.
I was, yeah, I was a little, I was something.
So how did you feel when you woke up?
Well, like I had said earlier, it was like kind of out of it, almost like I had been drugged. I mean, maybe that feeling of being drugged in the dream was because I had been feeling like it was really hot, and I think I maybe felt that like foggy headed, heavy sleep kind of thing. So I don't know. I just felt a little um hmm. It was yeah, perplexed, curious.
Yes.
Where was I going?
Yes. I'm really seeing the universal message that this may have for us. The heat is enough to like bring on this dream. So I'm going to put it in terms of like climate change, and
Mhm.
um and now I'm having to go somewhere. Just feels like relocation for me because that's what I'm thinking about these days.
Mhm.
People are having to relocate because um I don't know, the world is burning.
The world is burning. That's the thing, is where do you go? I know. I guess I think about it too. I finally decided after 5.5 or so years here that I'm just gonna be where, grow where I'm planted kind of thing until I know what the next step is. And there will be a next step. I don't get the sense that I'm here forever, but um
After 9/11, my friend David, who makes copper fountains, used to have a shop in the Water Street Market. He's like, yeah, I'm not sticking around for like this war. And again, I would say in his mind, right? That this war that's going to happen. We live too close to New York City here, was his thinking. So now he lives in like Washington State, across the continent. So that feels similar to me because you're saying let's just wait. When he was like, I'm out.
well, and that's a perfectly fine decision, right? Like it's just very personal when you're
Totally.
when you're ready for that. I don't actually think it doesn't resonate to me that it was about moving. It feels like it was much more about moving into something different in my life. And that's because that's really where I've been, is the process of
Spiritual.
figuring out figuring out. I kind of hate to say that in quotes because you can't ever figure anything out. It's just pay attention to the signals and the signs and whatever. I'm
Coincidence.
just wondering, like, whether or not this new business that I've sort of embarked on slowly, is the right choice. Is this my inner pleasure and happiness? Is this what I really want to be doing? Is this what I'm really the most good at? Is this how I want the rest of my life to feel?
Yeah.
And I think that I feel like it has more to do with that, with what I want to do in this part of my life now. the second half or the last third or whatever people, however people say that, the last third, I guess, would make sense.
Mhm.
So yeah, it seems like it's more about that, like somehow. Yeah.
I have some advice, not advice. It's just something that I'm learning in my like Luddite fashion. I'm not like the most techno savvy person. But YouTube shorts, you know, you can do 60 seconds and I've been making a ton of dream stream ones, you know, and
Mm.
then I realized just recording what was on my computer is not gonna cut it. I had sent you some of those. So now I'm just talking to the phone. So and then I think I haven't yet joined threads or thread. I because I wasn't able to, but I'll join that. Like all these different social media platforms have ways to promote.
Oh,
Trying to figure that out for Dreamstream.
I never heard of that.
Yeah,
Any of
well,
them.
we'll talk about it after after we record.
Oh,
So I love that. So and it's interesting to me if I'm the dreamer, it's people, my parents, my family, who I almost feel like they're reminding me where I'm going
mm.
because maybe they know a younger side of me that maybe I'm not, you know, paying much heed to right now, or I wonder what do you think that's about?
I almost, as you were talking, it made me think that it wasn't necessarily my parents, but if it were my parents, it's almost like they're drugging me because they know that I won't make a decision because I can't, I have ADHD. Like I don't make decisions. I just go from this thing, then I'll change to that, and then I'll go back to this, and then I'm all over. So
Right.
as not to keep doing that, they're like, let's just put her to sleep for a little while and put her on the plane, and she will thank us later. That's kind of what it feels like. That they just
Don't ask permission, ask
help. They were helping me. They were helping me. That it definitely felt like they were helping me.
okay.
They were helping me to sort of get to some quietude, some next steps, some yeah, some inner peace.
Quietude. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, that's so interesting. And it'll be interesting how you are going to your nephew's or niece's wedding in California.
His wedding. Yeah. That's not till October, but yeah.
That's not till October.
I'm going to Ireland actually.
Oh, 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 really? So
Yeah, I'm going in mid-September for 2 weeks.
has different feeling now for me. Like I'm going alone. It's what I'm doing for myself. And maybe it's an army plane because I'm leaving a battle. Not sure about that because I think one said battle in my head. Is that
Mhm.
right?
And
So,
it also to me doesn't feel like an army plane at all.
okay,
It doesn't
but
feel like that.
also not a
It feels
private.
like a jet airliner. It just doesn't, it's only for me. For
Yes,
me,
of course. Well, that's valid.
laying
Oh,
down.
yeah, I just can't picture it because of the benches. That's making me just see parachuters.
I know, I don't know why. Yeah, why does it have that? I don't know. I don't know. It just feels very spacious, very airy,
Ooh,
clean.
uh,
Um, like I'm able to lay down.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know what else to make of the way it's set up, why it's set up like that. It definitely doesn't feel like an army plane.
Okay, and I have to say, because our teacher, Robert Moss, taught us this, it's also important to look at our dreams as if they might be foretelling, as we were talking about your other dreams, but also warning us something. So it's making me think, and this is just me and my paranoia. I better watch it in Ireland because someone's going to try to put the date drug in my beer or something. I just want to stay on my guard.
Mhm.
Because if I'm feeling like I'm drugged, but I didn't do drugs and I don't quite know where I am, it's just giving me the caution. Say
Mhm.
it out loud, and hopefully that will give you the caution to
Yeah, I mean, I don't really worry about that in real life, but I guess I like the idea of being being drugged. What do I want to say about that? It's like anesthetizing myself. Like I don't have to anesthetize myself in order to like make a choice or in order to stop doing a behavior.
Thank
Not.
you. That's interesting. Can you say more about that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think I have a few sort of anesthetizing coping mechanisms that aren't drugs. I don't begrudge anyone who does anything, but I just don't. It's not my thing. But um, uh, at least the anesthetizing kind of drugs are my thing. um, but I can overeat or overthink or
Overthinking.
move quickly, like move too quickly through space to try to like stay above, just stay out on the surface of it. Um,
Well, I was above in that dream, way
mhm.
above the surface of it.
Oh, interesting. Was I rising above it? Huh. That's so interesting. Was
That
that?
time in my life,
Hmm.
I came up with a mantra, and you know how important eagles are to me. I was very much connecting with the eagle. And so I made up the mantra, eagle flies above the storm. Eagle
Mm.
flies above the storm. And that just helped me through a very difficult time, probably around when I got separated before you. So
Mhm.
eagle flies above the storm. So I don't have to be under it. But in this case, this is very different. I'm above the water. The water is placid, like glass. And so in that way, I feel like I really can see myself, right, in a glass mirror, right? And then, but it's not feeling well. But again, the anesthetize. Good.
Yeah.
I always worry about my friends who are traveling. I think the truth is, I want to travel.
Well, traveling, I mean,
I
well,
love that for you. And wish it for me.
I love that for you. Thank you. Um, yeah, and I understand, a desire to, and me on not having the ability to do that right now yet in your life.
Because the manifesting.
I mean, you could really just it's a little more complicated with the chair and the thing,
Well, I will. I'm on the 5-year plan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can travel tour,
Years, man.
and things, whatever. So yeah. Anyway, um,
And
somehow this is all feeling like it's I really don't even understand this, but I'm just going to say what's coming up for me right now. There's something about certain things ending in my life. Like today was my last day with my particular therapist. And yesterday I found out that this wonderful person who is not coming to my writing group, who is somebody who really reflects me so beautifully in the class. And there was another thing that I'm not remembering right now, but some other thing that feels like, oh, another person not there for me kind of thing. Um, and the young person in me, maybe it's that person that's
yeah,
behind, not in the plane yet with the family and friends, and they're trying to help me figure the next thing out. That part of me feels like it needs the reflection. I need mommy, to say, do that, sweetie. You're good at that. Don't do that. This is wonderful. This is not so good, you know. And I need my writing friend to tell me if my writing is good. And I need my therapist to help me figure shit out, but the truth is I myself am a therapist, and sure, we do need help sometimes, but I really can do this on my own. It's almost like stepping into adult, like grown up. I'm a grown up now, you know. And it doesn't mean I shouldn't have therapy or that I shouldn't be sad about my friend not being there. It's just, there was something very like visceral about all of that though, in me, like,
I can fly on my own.
yeah, like the way that I think I need someone else in order to express myself fully.
I was
Like
just talking
someone to
about,
tell me that it's good.
say that one more time.
I need someone to tell me that it's good.
Right. I was just talking to my friend Stacy, and we were talking about aging somehow. I guess it's coming up a lot. And she said, "Well, I really felt like an adult when I sent food back to the kitchen at a restaurant for the first time." And I thought that was so funny. She's like, "No, men are always doing it. I finally, it wasn't to my liking, it was the wrong thing, and I said it," and she felt like that was an adult thing to do, which I think is very funny.
Funny, I guess that's very personal, what we think is stepping into our, adulthood.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't that for me. I was like, yeah, you sound like a bad kid.
Yeah, for me, it was like when I realized, like, oh, I could just go to the bodega across the street from where I lived in Brooklyn and buy some beer. I could just buy beer and drink a beer by myself in my apartment. That was my grown-up moment, many years ago.
More recently.
Uh, so yeah, it's all, I think, yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what more to say. Just, it's really hot right now. Oh my God. It's getting hotter here. We're getting into our very, very hot time of the day.
Right,
And
right.
I'll have to get to closing the windows and putting the AC on in here.
It's only 83 here, which is
Oh, that's lovely.
had been. It is lovely. It's like the best, right? Like
Only 90 here right now. I mean, it's been like 96 and 97, but it just feels really hot right now. I'm in the house. Anyway,
but go ahead to the food store and hang out in the frozen food aisle for a little while. That's what I used to do when I didn't have
yeah, right. There's always Whole Foods.
Mhm. Thank you. That's a empowering dream. I think,
Yeah, it was a kind of
right?
interesting. Hmm?
In a way, just the drugged piece of it doesn't feel empowering to me.
Yeah, it almost just feels like they did what they felt was going to help me the most to get on the plane, to get to the next level, to get to the next step. Like I wouldn't have been able to. And so in a way that, even though I just said, like, I don't really need people to tell me that I'm a good writer or I'm a good, but we do kind of need people to mirror us back
So
and
you
help us get on the damn plane.
that's what you said. You didn't say I don't need that. You said you do need.
I do need that. Yeah, I do. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, right. No, I actually said I don't really. I mean, I'm not going to die without this person in my writing group. I'm just going to adjust.
Yeah.
And there are other people there who are going to give me feedback to whom I'm going to give feedback. That's just going to be different. And sort of letting go of an attachment, I think, of what I think I need in order to step into my power.
Yeah. So that's so interesting.
So, so the drugged part, yeah, it doesn't feel really good, but
That's interesting though. And who you said you don't necessarily think it was your parents. Do you have any
I
sense?
don't know, family and friends is all that it felt like, a lot of different people. And it felt like very chaotic. Like there was so much war, it felt like a war zone. Like it was like, hurry, get on this plane, and like things happening
Oh,
and dirty and it felt like a war zone.
but the plane was clean.
Plane was complete
Hotness, the
opposite.
ocean was
Yeah.
placid.
Yeah. Complete opposite in energy.
The good kick in the pants.
Yeah, it was like, here, we're gonna, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe there was some way that I wanted to stay back with them because they're my family and friends. Ah, that
Oh,
that feels really, really right on. Like I want to stay back because I think, like, stay small or stay back or stay in the thing that's familiar and comfortable, even though it's really not good anymore.
right. It's not nourishing
Yeah.
me. So I love it. I would want to do more writing on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I might.
and not wait till next Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, I might do that. Yeah.
Thank you, Ellen. That was
Thank you. Thanks for exploring that with me and being in the chaos of the exploration.
it means a lot to me too, because my dreams have been small, but you were saying who's to say what's like,
Mhm.
I likened it to who's to say that it's only a dream fragment or whatever.
Mhm.
But I'm able to also live through the dreams that you share, and it's giving me content to work with. So thank you for my prompt. What was the prompt? What dream stays with me?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why the dream stayed with you, because of the prompt, or nothing?
No, the prompt came afterwards, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't about this dream. It was about a different dream. It was a totally
Oh,
different dream. It was the one with the dirt in the corner.
uh-huh.
I
And
shared that one last time. Yeah, that there was a dirt. I was in the corner, and there was like
I
all
was
this
in
brown
the
dirt.
dirt.
Do you remember that one? Did I share that? Yeah.
I do remember that one. So, well, thank you for your fertile mind and sharing that with me.
Thank you for your gifts at dream exploration and your particular way that helps me to see things that I wouldn't necessarily see on my own.
And similarly, I hope that it gives the listener something also. That's why I've been doing the YouTube shorts, because I'm telling about different things from dream work, certain
Mm.
symbols we might see and what they commonly are, but of course they're not that without one's own projections and
Right.
um and and totem animals and lucid dreams, all kinds of things. So look for the Google shorts, not Google, YouTube.
That's so cool. I will look for them. I haven't even seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Wonderful. And would it be okay if I sort of promoted a workshop that I'm doing?
please do.
So August 12th, Saturday from 10 to 12:30 Mountain Time, so 12 to
Too.
2:30 Eastern. Um, it's going to be, the idea is that I'd like to start to create a community, like a once a month gathering. And the bottom line topic is anxiety, but it's really about using the, dream work and the arts, movement, writing, painting, drawing as a way to kind of assuage the symptoms or to kind of get underneath what's really going on. It's basically trying to put all that nervous energy that so many of us are feeling, even if you're not necessarily a person with anxiety. I say that in quotes, it's we're all anxious about all sorts of things, the heat and the climate change and God knows what else. So it's just a way of coming together. We need each other. We really need each other, and here we are doing this dream work together, and it's a little community here. And my intention is to create a community that is ongoing. But in the meantime, this is just a kind of a workshop that is like a bit of an example of what we might do
Oh, I
in the.
love it. That's that of everything that you've shared with me throughout these podcasts about the work you're doing, that feels the most connected to your gut.
Yeah, thank you. It's getting there. I mean, I think that's what people kept saying, is you just keep reiterating
Yeah,
work
exactly.
until it
Exactly.
starts to feel. So I guess can we put the info in the show notes?
Yes,
Could we?
let's do that for sure.
And it's ellenronashealingarts.com/workshops.
Say it one
Ellen,
more time.
ellenronashealingarts.com/workshops. But we'll put it in the show notes.
We will.
Feel free to get on that and call, contact me, whatever, if you have questions or curiosities, or you want to join.
Thank you so much, Ellen.
Thank you so much.
Please stay tuned, Ellen.
Yeah.
So I want to say to our listeners again, great to spend this time with my imaginary friends, all of you. And Holomode Metukin.
Sweet dreams to all.